Alright, chat. I've got a fever, and the only cure is Rotting Regisaur. Alright, so we got Grixis Madness here. For those that are newer to Magic, Madness is a mechanic where when you discard a spell, you may cast it for its Madness cost instead of discarding it. And we've got Fiery Temper and Alms of the Veins here, which are ways to deal damage with our discard. So we pair these 8 Madness cards and a couple copies of Just the Wind here, along with Rotting Regisaur to get some value out of this. We've also got Stormfist Crusader and Fevered Visions as a way to supply both players with cards while also killing our opponent. We got some Treasure Cruise here at the top and generate some card advantage. And we got some Royal Scions here to provide trample to push Regisaur through blockers. In addition to Scions and Regisaur providing Madness outlets, we also got a couple copies of Lightning Axe here, which is an incredibly efficient removal spell. So let's go ahead and dive on into a league here with this one and see how it goes. Probably because they want their mana to be marginally better. But I do think not playing Chandra is a mistake. Yeah, the Chandra Glorybringer in the sideboard, along with like this other interaction, is basically allows us to kind of pull up into more of a mid-range deck when that's good to be doing. So like I would assume, for example, Stormfist and Fevered Visions are very bad against aggro. So being able to pivot off of these 8 cards into Dreadbore and removal spells seems like it's potentially very good. Nope, I'm getting started late today. I had a quick dentist appointment this morning. I actually thought I was going to have to skip our Moto altogether, but the dentist appointment was relatively quick, so I'm going to play some Pioneer because the queue is dark and full of terrors. Hey, sounds good, folks. I'll get those Sultai control bumps applied after the stream's off today, as always.
My debit card's still in your wallet?
It is.
Thank you, my love.
Enjoy.
It's red now. I think I gave it to you like the day I got it in the mail.
Make it rain. Thanks for the typo catch on the title. I appreciate it. Currently watching this from Midway Airport, which I view as the off-brand bag cereal of airports. That's a good word for it. You know, hey, Beansy, thanks for the biddies. As someone who grew up in the Chicagoland area, people would always bag on O'Hare and, like, praise Midway. But as someone who's, like, flown out of both of those airports a number of times, I actually greatly prefer O'Hare as an airport. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. It's missing a color. Re-add standard Podmom? We definitely can. Hey, Tiger. Thanks for the tier 3. I appreciate that. Okay, let's go to a blue-white tempo shell and Pioneer. You know, I don't think blue-white tempo is good in this format. So, like, we've tried a number of blue-white tempo shells, and in a post-copter world, I just don't think they're very competitive. The Super Friends list in the historic queue will be an updated variation of the one that's on my website. I'd like to try a few things that I'm not certain are going to be good. I think people talked about the copter ban being the death knell for... People talked about the copter ban being the death knell for black aggro. I think in reality, it was the death knell for... This is a very good draw. It was the death knell for for blue-white tempo. The archetype just doesn't have enough card advantage in it to be able to really play through flooding. Like, it's an archetype that wants to get to like 3 or even 5 lands in some games. And then, like, it also doesn't have the ability to, like, play through flooding out in its 24 or 25 land deck. Hey, Bebo, Sexman, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, we have Anger of the Gods as a means of pseudo-graveyard hate. Mutavault's not a bad draw here. So we're dealing 3 damage per turn here because Stormfist Crusader's dealing 1, this is dealing 2, and I guess this is attacking as well. This has Menace, friendo. She's very scary. I want to be a Shillionaire so freaking bad. Bump all the decks that I never had. So Fever Vision's here again. Beginning of each player's end step, that player draws a card. Then if it's my opponent and they have 4 or more cards in their hand, they take 2 points of damage. Now that being said, Uro escaping might be a problem. Oh, they're not the self-mill deck. They're some kind of weird ramp deck. Oh yeah, I guess we see Courser here. I wonder if they're a... wonder if they're a what's-it-called deck, if they're a... they're like a Traverse deck. That could make sense. Like Sultai Traverse. So I think my plan here, depending on what we draw, obviously, is like Lightning Axe this, Fiery Temper their face, Shock in this, fire up Mutavault attack for 4. Just try and like get under them here. So we'll do this, discard Lightning Bolt. Kind of mopey mid-range deck like what our opponent's playing is probably a pretty ideal matchup for us. Second Lightning Axe means we get to run back the same play next turn potentially, which is great. We get to draw another card in a turn, so they're going to 9. And I get to draw another card. Wow, that's greedy. They had a Fatal Push, but they let Stormfist Crusader trigger again. Teach their own, I suppose. Worth noting, they ditched a Nissa, so they could have another one of those. They also had a Hydrate Crisis. Scavenging Ooze is pretty scary. They also have Uro in here with plenty of things to escape for it. Okay, so they're down to 11. That's not a bad draw. So let's run back the kill this, Fiery Temper your face play. And then we'll go Shock. Play my Roddy Boy. Okay, yep, that's a card. We'll ban Spirebluff Canal next turn. So they can escape this and then trade it for this inside of combat. I guess it's not a stellar exchange for us. They have 11 cards in their bin. What is the raid thing? It's a gacha game. It's just a random mobile game. I was looking... I got kind of bored with the one set that Mythgard had, and I was looking for other things to play. And, like, they've been advertising everywhere, so I was like, sure, I'll give it a try and poke at it. And I really liked it, so I've been playing it a bunch. It's been my... Yeah, the raid challenge has just been plastered everywhere. I was trying to put my finger on... why I liked it. And I think it's because it reminds me a lot of playing like kind of like an adult version of Pokemon. I tweeted this morning telling them they should sponsor me because Christy told me I've been playing too much. So if they sponsor me, I can tell her it's for work. It's obnoxious. The only obnoxious thing about it is every time you log in, it pops up a bunch of advertisements with their deals. But like the actual gameplay is good, so I close them out and play it. Like I've enjoyed it. If you like grindy team building games, it's a grindy team building game. Yeah, it's a time burner game. The combat system reminds me a lot. The combat system is very similar to like 4v4 Pokemon. So like it's turn-based combat where each of your champions has different moves and they're sequencing based on how quick they are and stuff like that. The advertisements have a button, so you only see them once per day. Really? Is there an option in the settings for that? I should toggle that. I also created a Hoaglandia clan in it. So if you're someone who's playing, you should message me. You can join my clan. There's teams and stuff. It's got more social features than Arena to set a low bar. Am I just trading this? I feel like I'm not supposed to trade this because I'm not supposed to trade this because they just escape it back again next turn. So I think the play here is like Regisaur go and like plan to double Wild Slash them. Yeah, but there's no guarantee that this Fevered Vision survives. So I think taking this line is better in the event that their interactive deck can kill my Fevered Visions. Yeah, they also if I attack they get to replay Uro, which gains them 3 because this card gains 3 and draws a card. I honestly I would not be surprised if this card turns into the next Oko. Not in that what it does. Not in that what it does, but in that it just goes in everything. Like, it replaces itself, it ramps you, it draws a card, and then it escapes back for value in the late game. So I'd be kind of surprised if we don't see this, like, start seeing play in basically every format. Yeah, it does a lot. Like, I don't know that it'll need to be banned because, like, its power level isn't the same as Oko, but it just does an incredible amount for what it does. What's in Legacy? You just like pitch it. You can pitch it to Force of Will. Kind of like Teferi and anything blue-white. Yeah. Yeah, it's a card where, like, if you're playing the colors, you should be playing Teferi. If you're playing these, you should be playing Uro. You should consider splashing it. Legacy has a ton of exile removal, though. Can you define a ton? By a ton, do you mean exactly Swords to Plowshares? Is that what you mean by a ton? Oko enable its own splash with Goose. GGUU is hurting its splash. That's fair. That's fair. It's a little bit. But, like, so the flip side of that, though, Beetle, is, like, because this draws a card, if you can't, what's it called? If you can't escape it right away, it's not a big deal. So the downside is pretty minimal. Sure, that's not a lot though, Zephoid. So you said one, what you should say is one color has the ability to exile. Sure. Single colors had the ability to exile in other formats too. They have double push here, we could be in trouble. Is that another removal spell? Yeah. I think we're dead here at this point. We just can't beat Uro, right? Yeah, we're gonna be 1 point short. Because, like, this just gains 3 every time it attacks. Yeah. You just can't beat that card. I feel like that's not a particularly good showing for our deck to start here, because, like, I feel like a lot went right for us that game. And, like, the fact that, like, so much went right, and then we ended up losing anyways, like, sounds potentially pretty bad. I think I'm just boarding in these Thoughtseizes. Lightning Axe and Collective Brutality both seem kind of medium. I guess I'll leave Axe in because we saw Courser of Crew fix. Brutality doesn't kill a whole lot. Morning, Ninja Killer. Let me have more champion spaces. Your the vault box can have like 300 spots in it, right? Do you need more than that? So much went right, still lost to Uros. I think I expect to say a lot in the coming years. Yeah, I mean, it crushes these aggro decks, right? Like, right there, like, they ended the game at 6. Like, I could have put them to 1 that game, and Uro gained them 9, right? I like a little sadness in the morning, Hunox. It's right to lead on Blood Crypt here, because this lets me cast Wild Slash on 2, and it also lets me cast Thoughtseize if we draw that. Someone made a good point, and I think this is a good point. And this is just like shows the design problems with Simic cards in recent years. Why does the red-black Titan only make them lose life sometimes, but the blue-green Titan always lets you gain life? Why is that distinction there? They felt it was important to make the life loss conditional on the red-black one, but on the blue-green one, you always gain life. It's 1 mana cheaper. The escape cost is the same. Yeah, the balance of the 2 cards is comical, I agree. And it shows the issue with that color combination in recent years. And for the record, I'm not saying they should make the red-black one better. I'm saying the blue-green one should be worse. What if Uro said you only gain life if you don't put a land into play? What if there was a conditional there? What if that was a choice you had to make? So I'm not saying make the red-black one better. I'm saying why doesn't the blue-green one also have a conditional? That's the differential I would apply to it. It's not even really cheaper, because, like, the escape cost is really what matters, and the escape cost is identical. Like, if the red-black one escaped for 4 cards instead of 5, I would accept that. Like, if you wanted to make the red-black one better that way, like, make it easier to do in some way, shape, or form. Sure, but I'm saying, like, their line of thinking with things like that are a big part of why blue-green has been so pushed and why the other colors struggle. It's not even cheaper to cast because the land Uro puts on the board basically makes them cost 2. That's an interesting way to think about it. I don't think it translates quite that directly, but yeah. Yeah, like we've talked a lot about how traditional aggro has been largely pushed out of standard. Like, the competitive aggro decks are ones that go way over the top, like the White Devotion deck, or they're basically comboing people with Embercleave. And all of the incidental life gain is a big part of that. There's, like, so many of these mid-range control and ramp decks are just incidentally good against what would be considered traditional aggro without even trying to be good against them. They're just like, oh, these are cards I want to play anyways, and they also dumpster the aggressive decks. Yes, yeah, Othakaya is a great example, especially in conjunction with Teferi. I think I bottomed the cruise here because I don't really have ways to fill up the bin for it. Maybe that's wrong just because I have this to provide me with cards. I actually agree with that. I think in standard, the fact that Kroxa dodges Conquer's Death is a big deal. I agree with that conclusion. That's true. Dying to Legion's End is relevant sometimes. I don't know. I think Conquer's Death is more present than Legion's End. That could change as the format shakes out more, though, for sure. But I'm playing some kind of red-black mid-range deck. Ooh, Jund. Klothys seems real good. hard to kill. This card's kind of like Sulfuric Vortex in a way. It doesn't stop the life gain, but just, like, hard to interact with consistent source of damage that has random upside. If you play it with Fabled Passage, it can randomly ramp you too, which is sweet. Yeah, that's true too. Oven does definitely beat, let's just kill this. They have a Fatal Push of their own. Tilt. Alright, Big Dem Dino number 2. Your move. Don't play a second Fatal Push. Don't play a second Fatal Push. Don't play a second Fatal Push. Yeah, that one, Moto. The only one I have. Oh, it would be a third Fatal Push, wouldn't it? Yeah, you're right. All right, down to 13, but Klothys here is going to gain them 2 every turn. So this deals 2 to me and gains them 2. 4-point swing every turn. Great. That's a dragon that does not kill my Regisaur. It does race it a little bit, though. I guess I have them didn't, too. Yeah. Big dumb dinos. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Grunch. Why does the green-red god drain instead of dealing 2? Because dealing damage is red and gaining life is green. Come on now. Oh, they're going to 8. It's not 2 lethal threats. That's unfortunate. I'd bet they'll be able to kill one of these. If they have, like, a shock in their hand, they can, like, exert plus kill one. They have a second banger. Second banger's really good. You have a yellow red guy. Yeah, Punchworthy. When I said I'd been playing a lot, I wasn't exaggerating. I just finished 3-starring the campaign on Brutal last night. No, this isn't quite active yet. The double colored gods are 7 to activate. Yeah, buddy. I started playing the Shadow Legends like a month ago. I was looking for a mobile game, and they've been plastered everywhere, so I decided to give it a try. Advertising, sometimes it works. Is it actually any good? If you're looking for a grindy time waster game, it's a good grindy time waster game. It reminds me a lot of playing Pokemon with more customization. Like, you're basically building teams to fight battles that are turn-based. And you're trying to put together the right combinations of teams based on the champions that you have. And there's lots of ways to customize the champion. Is it a big pay-to-win game? I mean, it's pay-to-win as much as Magic is pay-to-win. Well, I need to re-roll a rat. I mean, you grind for gear. It's like any of the it's like normal an RPG game. Like even normal RPG games, you involve a lot of grinding. It's just basically I don't understand why people what hold on, pause. We're playing against Juntier. I think I want Dreadbore. Actually, I probably want Lightning Axe, right? Because they have dragons. Wild Slash is maybe not great. I'm not sure Collective Brutality should be in this deck in general. I've not been impressed with that card in this format. Torch of Defiance sounds fine. Maybe I want bangers of my own. Slash sounds okay. Like, sorry, to finish my thought, basically the way the gacha games work is like, it reminds me a lot of, like, as someone who played a ton of Diablo 2 growing up, like, those RPG games were very grindy as well. You just, like, didn't have the option to pay to skip some of those grinds. And, like, that's just what it does, right? Like, basically the way these games are structured, they just give you a direct monetary way to skip whatever portions of the grind you want to pay money to skip. So, like, if you don't enjoy the grindy part of it, like, then you're not gonna like the game. But, like, if you like leveling things up and, like, watching numbers on screens go up and, like, grinding dungeons for specific pieces of gear, yeah, it's good for that. It's neat. The energy system in Raid is, like, pretty generous, and, like, the amount that they give you for free is probably about the amount you should be playing in a healthy day anyways. Like, when I run out of energy or tokens or whatever in a day, usually I'm just like, yeah, okay, I probably should be done playing anyways. Should probably go be productive. Interesting that they took the Royal Scions instead of the Treasure Cruise here. Kind of implies to me they don't have removal spells for both of these. Or maybe they have another discard spell for this. I think I'm just playing this. Yeah, I felt like I progressed a bunch through a lot of it without giving them any dollars. Their progression system is good. It does a good job of, like, holding your hand and telling you to, like, go to these places and do these different things to, like, teach you all the different things it has to offer in it. Yeah, for people that are just coming in, we're talking about Raid Shadow Legends. I tweeted tagging them this morning because Christy told me I've been playing too much of it. So I told them they need to sponsor me so I can tell her it's for work. It's one of the upsides to this job. Please sponsor me for half a second so I can write off any of the money I've given you at the end of the year. Say it was for work. We talked about it at work now. It was part of my job, right? That's how that goes. Yeah, I could see that, Meatballs. I'm not a big fan of Collective Brutality in this format in general. Maybe Punchworthy, but their advertising wasn't as good, and I'm pot committed to Raid at this point. Put too much time in it. we ain't changing. Discarding madness spells to this is like real good. So I get to attack for 7, play another giant dumb dino, hopefully not get ritual asserted. I just have another fatal push here. Vomit. Hey, thanks for the 5 months, Aether. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. The problem with Collective Brutality in this format, Meatballs, is that I don't even think it's that good against control. Like, so many of the key cards against control are enchantments and planeswalkers these days that I feel like it just doesn't do enough. I think I'm just ditching this Wild Slash. Okay, that's a Fevered Visions. So I'm at kind of an impasse here, right? Do I jam the other Regisaur and, like, commit to losing my hand here? Or do I play Fevered Vision and try and play for a slightly longer game? Feel like with Treasure Cruise, I could probably afford to play for a slightly longer game. And with this gaining them life, they're not dead on board anyways, or forced to chump. So I think I'm supposed to jam this rather than play the second. I think both because of their life gain and because I have Treasure Cruise, I want to get some more cards here. That's true too. Visions could draw us a madness spell would be absurd. Well, at least they haven't drawn Fabled Passage yet, huh? Fevered Vision is definitely an old favorite. It's part of why Howling Mine was so popular, I think. Howling Mine was so popular. Going to 9 here. I think I'm ditching that. I'm going to attack with Reggie. I think I'm just going to play second Reggie past the turn. Because this will draw me a card. I'll discard these two to the Regisaurs, play Treasure Cruise. It is a real bummer that it can't hurt Planeswalkers anymore. Big agree. Caleb D added a 1,000,000-point option for his stream now too. If you redeem it, you get to fight him IRL. Am I dead? Oh, Temple of Tilt. So the line is hit them to 1, draw a burn spell is the line. Because I can't just hold back to block because Klothys kills me. Game the third. All of our burn spells are instant speed, right? Alms is Alms a sorcery? Alms is a sorcery. Vomit. Needed exactly temper. Yeah. I think I'm happy with how we board it. Let's run it back and try and win on the play. Klothys was very good there. Okay, yep. We're going to ban Alms here. We have 3 lands with all of our colors and 3 good payoffs. Lead on Blood Crypt here because it can cast both Wild Slash and Thoughtseize on 2. Although my Thoughtseizes aren't in right now, right? Yeah. Not a fan of bringing in Thoughtseize in these matchups where we're likely going to 0 cards in hand. Okay, more land sounds great. Get to curve, 3, 4, 5 might be in a pretty good spot here. It's actually a great pickup. Hopefully they play a second creature here, and we just get to, like, Axe, discard Temper. I guess if they don't play a second creature, I just get to Chandra clear the board. What's a good starter in Raid? Elhain or the Wizard are the good starters. I picked Elhain. The Wizard's supposed to be good too, though. The Archer or the Wizard. I don't know what the Wizard's name is offhand. I think it's Kale. I think the decision to ban fetches was very good. I think much like having lower power level removal spells is good, having worse mana makes the format lower powered level in a good way. Well, that's technically a creature, but it's not the one I was hoping for, huh? It's not one that I can kill. We're talking about Shadow Legends, Raid Shadow Legends. The game's been advertised everywhere, and I decided to play a little bit of it, and I've enjoyed it. It's good. Good mobile game time waster. When I saw your tweet about Magic on play versus draw, my first thought was compare the numbers to chess, but I realized that's not an apt comparison, because with black in chess, you have prepared strategies, whereas being on the draw in Magic is completely random. Yeah. Yep. They are playing Croxa. Okay. Seems sweet. Been an axe here. It's a shame I don't have a mana up, huh? It's also, mechanically, it's good to have there be less shuffling in the game. Shuffling sucks, chat. Good sequencing here on the opponent's part. If they would have trophied first, I would have been able to play a Madness spell. Can we just lead on Banger here? Most serious chess tournaments ensure you play an equal amount of black and white. Yeah, that's good. That's a good note, too. You need equal amounts of play versus the draw. That would actually be an interesting rule for Magic. What if, like, what if on the match slip, it recorded whoever had been on the play or the draw more often, and it was only random when you'd both been on the play an equal number of times? Would that make Magic a better or worse game? I feel like that would improve Magic as a game, huh? What if that was a thing? That's such an easy thing to implement, too. Dear Wizards, you don't even have to pay me for that idea. Just take it and run. Just take it and run, Watsy. Now, that one's free of charge. Sure, you could have how many times you're on the play be a tiebreaker too. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Sure, you could even have it go as far to be the computer does the random for you, and if both players have been on the play or the draw equal amounts of times, the computer assigns it at random. That would also be a good change. Just the match slip always tells you who plays first. Grim Flare with Croxa is neat, but Croxa fights the Delirium synergy. Yeah, less chance for cheating and general scumbag. And like these are good examples of things that are so easy to implement that could improve tournament play that they just haven't done. Wait, did they? That was a concession play, right? They did that because they were dead? I assume they did that because they were dead. I have to assume. This is madness! Flavia. Yeah, so F2K actually had reached out to me to do a sponsored thing with them, and then it fell through. But I had already I turn down mobile game sponsors all the time because when a mobile game sponsor approaches me, I'm like, okay, what's your game? I need to play it for an hour. It's like I don't do sponsored segments for things that suck. So believe it or not, I turn down most mobile game sponsorships because most mobile games suck. I don't take a lot of I don't take money from most of those places. If their game's bad, I'm not promoting it. Yeah, you do get freebies in Raid with Twitch Prime 2, or with Amazon Prime 2, which is great. All right, can we beat running with scissors? This deck is like my Achilles heel in this format. I just always die. Always die. Send them chat's way. Send what chat's way? I think it's neither, DJ Jeff. I think it just encourages you to play better decks. I'm just gonna kill this now before I get into trouble. Their deck plays counter magic, so like, I could maybe get a 2-for-1 if they're bad after I shock that in, but this is probably a matchup where I'm gonna want to board out the Stormfists and the... Where I probably want to board out the Stormfists and the enchantment. We did beat the Jund player. That's how that works. Yeah, exactly. So, like, I can't disclose the rates because a lot of the rates the mobile game companies offered are, like, they're frequently NDA'd. But, like, I will say there's a reason that so many people take mobile game sponsorships because some of the money they offer is kind of unreal. It's not real amounts. But if their games are bad, I do not take them. All right, that's a good draw. I think I just killed both of their things here, huh? Lucrative's a good word. Yeah, lucrative's a good word. See if they have scissors here or not. They do. Maybe I should have shocked this in. Yeah, I guess I should have shocked that in. Could have also maybe waited. Maybe I was supposed to wait till their turn because I had 2 spells that could kill their things. Feel like we're probably dead to this. Post board, we get to bring in Dreadbore, Anger, and probably Mystic Dispute, honestly. This can give itself evasion, so we're just dead here. Can make it unblockable except by creatures that have haste. Yeah, if I wait till they untap, they can stub me is the problem. I think I should have shocked in the Blood Crypt there, was my mistake. Should have shocked that in to hold up the interaction. I don't know that I want all the Thoughtseizes, but I definitely want some of them. And I think against aggro decks, we cut the Fevered Visions and the Stormfist Crusaders. Collective Brutality seems pretty medium. Do I want Chandra if I'm on this game plan? I feel like I need Banger at the very least. Banger doesn't get Stubborn denied. Maybe this isn't a Treasure Cruise matchup. Yeah, maybe that's the cut. I feel like I need extra win conditions, right? Because like if I'm cutting these, I'm a little win con light. So I feel like if I'm cutting these, I need to bring these 4 in. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Jace the Man Sculptor. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. I am whipping rhinos for formats that I don't normally play, though. It's a more expensive donation. So, modern or legacy submissions are $100. Modern, legacy, vintage, pauper, any of those. Yep. And then, if you do donate for it, it would get played first thing in one of the mornings, like the normal Moto segment. Although, because it's a large donation, you could dictate what day it gets played on. So for bigger donations, I'm flexible if you want to try and catch it live. Hey, Arisanuri, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. You want Collective Brutality? Yeah, maybe Brutality's fine just because I need to kill their haste idiot. Maybe it is better than Alms. I could see that. How has Fever Visions felt so far? It's good against mid-range. Can I use your tier 3 plus a donation for Legacy Storm? Yeah, the tier 3 is good for $30. So. Ooh, it's a Moto promo, Ghost Fireblade. That's slick. Reprint to Balt. Thank you for the 30 months. I appreciate the 2.5 years. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. My website still says modern is 50. Thank you. Have I mentioned WordPress is great? I'm going to fix that right now. Still had Mythgard up there too. Fixed. Alright, pretty sure we just tap out for this so we can have a chunky monster and start attacking. If they have scissors and they scissor up, I guess they could go scissors plus equip Ghostfire Blade, and then they have an 8/8. I guess that's kind of bad. Raid Shadow Legends, Jace. How's Grixis working out? It's okay. It's been okay. We're 1-1. We died to ramp in the first round. So, like, this makes Rotting Regisaur a 9, which is hot. So technically lethal in 2. I've got Mystic Dispute up here to counter a potential Scissors or Skilled Animator. The last 6 months, died to ramp is a theme in basically every format. Well, we are down a game. It's like we've taken games off of Insol before. Just like, never a match. Feels green, man. Yeah, Uro's good in all those formats, right? Okay, that bodes well for us. They have like a Wild Slash to finish it? Sure. The question is, how many chump blockers do they have? I think because this has reach as a 5/5, I just ditched the banger here. Because I can just hold up Mystic Dispute from here on out while I attack with a 7/6. Ooh, that's exciting. This means I have to discard the dispute, so maybe it's bad, but getting some info here seems really good. I think I just take Chandra. Actually, I'm probably supposed to take Spy Network there, because I'm going to have to discard this next turn, right? And they can start jump blocking me. Yeah, I'm supposed to take Spy Network. That's a sweet sideboard card. This makes endless tokens. I think I'm just supposed to let this happen, so this way if they draw a land, I get to counter their thing. Hopefully they draw untapped lands here and I get to dispute them. Okay, so now we should be in a pretty okay spot because their last card is Spy Network and they have to chump block Regisaur this turn. And they're also just like dead to a burn spell at any point. Alright, do I want Brutality? Maybe I do. Yeah, maybe Brutality's better than Alms. I think I agree with that. Because this only hits them. I think I'm gonna bring in the last Thoughtseize too, trying to break up. They have a low density of high impact cards, so getting to snag one seems good. I have to mulligan this, no black source. Seeing's not stellar, but it's definitely a keep. Can cast any of the spells we draw at least. It's a little bit of interaction. If they scissors this on 2, we can Dreadbore it cleanly, which is nice. Oh, it is pro multicolored. Yeah, you're right. God, that text is so relevant. Well, I'm glad they didn't have it, chat. I'm glad they didn't have it. Hashtag sometimes lucky. We won the last match against Jund, yep. Man, I just can't get rid of this cough. It's been real obnoxious. We can get Metallic Rebuked or Soft Stubbed here, but I think I just have to jam this before the Hangboy gets out of control. Does 5-color Niv ever beat that card? Like, does it have any interaction whatsoever? Does it ever beat what card? The rate at which you accrue shillings points? I don't know offhand. If you click the details link, there should be details, I believe. If I recall, I think if you click the learn more how to earn shillings button, I believe the rates are disclosed. I'm just gonna do this now before they can untap and have something. Yep, no problem, investigate. Thankfully, we've got something boring to deal with the Royal Scions here. Really need to draw a threat. Like, an ideal draw would be a 7/6 next turn. They ditched Spy Network. That's kind of terrifying. That must mean their hand has a bunch of bombs in it, right? Because, like, my Grixis deck probably can never beat this card, especially when they have Darksteel Citadel in play. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Hey, look, my Grixis deck can probably never beat that card either. We have 2 unsummons in our deck, but other than that, we're just stone cold to this. Which is why we brought in the disputes and the discard spells. So, we have 2, what are they called? Gone with the Wind or something like that? Just the Wind. Hey, thanks for the 5 months of support, Stone. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, Dispute showed up right when we needed it, you know. Feels magic, man. All right, just the win, please. Feels Grixis, man. Feels Grixis, man. All right, we got 2 more matches coming up with this deck. I need to run to the restroom really quick, though, so I'll be back in just a minute. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, the land itself is indestructible. No, I'm not doing anything. I'm not like going to Iowa or anything like that. I've got 2 small children. I don't have the spare time to participate in things like that. The extent of my political involvement is making sure I get out and vote myself, and then encouraging others to do the same here. Two basic planes, no play. Something controlling with the bad. They mulliganed. I think they mulliganed to 4. Mulliganed to 4 or 5. Opponent went to 5 cards. Aggressive deck with a bad draw. Fever Vision is potentially a little sketch here because it could basically unmulligan them, but I don't have another play. I don't know if this card's good in this format. Like, it's fine against mid-range and control, but like against the more aggressive decks, it definitely comes as a huge liability. Like giving them endless gas and assuming you can race them can be a kind of a tall order. Boros Reckoner, okay. I have a fever, chat, and the only cure is more magic cards. Where are my lands, chat? Where are my lands? Okay, it's a good start. So I'm going to Duress plus Drain them. I'm going to discard just the Wind and unsummon this Boros Reckoner. Let's do the burn deck again. Knight of the White Orchid, Avacyn. So they're gonna get to attack me with Gideon or with Heliod this turn. I guess I can Wild Slash the Knight. So Knight will get them a land. Yeah, it's untapped, right? Playing turn, put it on the battlefield. Yeah, so they can Knight, get a land, play a land, Boros Reckoner. That's cute. That's really cute. Lets you combo on 4 lands. All right, they're down to 8. We have defeated Splinter Twin, Grixis Madness Run. I mean, to be fair, Bob, part of the reason why Twin was good in Modern was because it didn't die to Lightning Bolt, right? I was a big proponent of if they wanted to ban Twin, they should have banned Deceiver Exarch. And just, like, let people Pestermite combo still. Just because, like, it has a wider range of things that interact with it. What land is that? It's one of the lands from the new set. From Eldraine. I guess that's not the new set anymore. It's an Eldraine, one of the Eldraine lands. Kind of, Bob. Bellringer can't tap your opponent's lands, though. Which is also a big deal. So, like, Village Bellringer works with Twin. But, like, not being able to tap your opponent off their land at the end of turn makes it a lot worse. Like, part of what made Twin good was you couldn't just pass with 1 white up for Path to Exile. You had to pass with 2 white up because at the end of your turn they were going to tap your land. Radiant Fountain is probably less good in, like, their Boros Reckoner deck. This is madness! This is Regisaur! Oh, I could have killed them, right? Remember that time? Remember that time I could have killed them? They're probably still dead to the Scion. But yeah, I definitely... Def could have slashed them and then alms them, right? This giving Trample should be lethal. They're going to flash an Avacyn, but... Yeah, definitely. I definitely messed that up. It's a good example of a game where even though I won, I definitely punted. Alright, is this a match where I want to cut Fevered and Stormfist Crusader? I'm not sure that it is. I think I want to cut Alms and Brutality and bring in Dreadbore and Anger. Does that make sense? Like, they've got a lot of cheap stuff, right? I think I like this. Let's give it a go. When did I move my face to the left? It's been a while, EGH. We moved my face to the left when we added the card preview window on the right. Which is bad. Which has been up for more than a month now, I believe. I have to look back. We added the card preview window shortly after Pioneer became a thing. Only the very first few Pioneer windows. You get a chance to glance at... Well, you already sent me money, right, Carn Daddy? You donated yesterday for it? I don't think I emailed you back because you donated, right? In the future, you should wait to donate till after I send you a message. But yeah, the deck is fine and I just added it directly. Alright, I think we just play Crusader on 2 here. Get some pressure going. And then next turn we can like Axe plus Alms potentially. Back in my day, Jeff was always on the left and he was an avatar of greed, not a planeswalker. Ain't that the truth? It's been a long time. Long time coming. Okay, so need to kill this one. I'm just gonna do it now so we don't get into trouble. Although, even killing this now, we could be dead on their next turn, right? If they have Walking Ballista into Radiant Fountain, we die. Okay. I think we just play Regisaur here. Just get my dumb beater into play. Boomer 2K10. Thank you for the 12 months. I appreciate the entire year of support. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Back in my day, Magic was so bad, we only played some third-party Rabbit Men game with robot bees. It was quite good, to be fair, Dad Confidant. The thing that killed Hex wasn't bad gameplay. I just stumbled through some matches with the green-black rock list, splashing for Shambling Vent, and it felt rough. Thoughts on Pioneer in mid-range? I think you should look at the Abzan Traverse deck that's on my website if you want a mid-range rock-style deck. So I can't kill this. We're just like hoping they don't have the thing. I guess I just Dreadbore Gideon, and then we just like sit here and stare at each other, hopefully, while they slowly die. Yeah, Hex are just a lot of small company problems. They got super bogged down in all their Kickstarter stuff. Oh, Kickstarter. Yep, between Hex Shards of Fate and then Epic Digital, just don't back video game Kickstarters, chat. Just don't do it. You'll be very sad. So we don't want to block this, because if we block it with the 7/6, it domes us for 7. What about board game Kickstarters? Board game Kickstarters vary wildly in quality. As I would like to direct you to the shelf behind me, probably a third or more of those are board game Kickstarters. Christy really liked board game Kickstarters for a long time. And then we agreed she had to stop because we weren't playing all of them fast enough. A number of the games on those shelves are still in Saran Wrap. Okay, Dreadbore's not a bad pickup. Do you have an Avacyn, an Avacyn, an Avacyn? Do. We are very dead. Bum 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 bum. Feeling very dead. Yeah, we just can't beat this sitting here gaining them life, right? Yeah. See if we can get under them in the third game. Definitely have to just try and run them down. We've not cast Cruise. In fact, I think I'm going to cut Cruise here and just bring back in some extra reach. Treasure Cruise has been super awkward. Treasure Cruise and Dig are incredibly fair cards in this format for the most part. Thoughtseize to deal with Heliod. Kinda, I don't know, like, at such a narrow, like, they could just draw it off the top. I don't know, I think we have an appropriate number of discard enablers. We just, like, our deck's not all madness cards and not all discarding cards, right? So, like, we're not filling the graveyard up super quickly. That's just not how this works. We need Libation in the 75. Maybe. I don't know that that's necessarily enough to fix middling Grixis deck problems. Just feels kind of like the issues we see with a lot of these Grixis mid-range decks. Like, we're not particularly aggressive, and our interaction also isn't super good. So, like, we have a hard time getting under people, but we also have a hard time playing a longer game where we try and interact with them a bunch. Yeah, we played a red-black discard deck that wasn't, like, trying to play Fevered Visions that played Key to the City that felt pretty okay. We did that at one point. Right on time, Wild Slash. Welcome to the party. Decks like what my our current opponent is playing have felt like some of the best shells for what's the word? Felt like some of the best shells for the Heliod Ballista combo and what we've played against at least. Well, that's a good draw. Would you like to call? They could triple block here and offer a trade if they think we don't have a removal spell. Well, mine is first strike too. Scions give it. Scions give it first strike, chat. Come on now, not a trade. Take a break. So we'll discard Fiery Temper, kill the Boros Reckoner, give this extra attack and punch through. For a professional, we'll draw another Rotting Regisaur. I don't know. I kind of feel like the good part of this deck, we should just be playing Embercleave. Like, the good part of this deck feels like Regisaur. So, like, let's just, like, this is, like, probably worse than Cleave. I guess it's, like, marginally cheaper than Cleave. Well, if we can continue to dodge removal, we're going to run them down fairly quickly here with the first strike trample. That 1/1 counter there is actually super relevant, because it means if they have Avacyn here, we're actually just screwed. Because that second point of power means Thraben Inspector plus Avacyn have 6 total power. Yep. I don't really think I can afford to play around this. Like, we need to close the game out before they draw more stuff. But, like, now they get to kill this. They get to kill my Royal Scions. And then I just have actual nothing left. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day with Grixis Sadness. That's enough. That's enough Grixis Sadness for one day. Yeah, just pretty typical Grixis deck problems. Not super interactive, not super linear. I felt like the blue cards here really weren't very good. Treasure Cruise was just straight up awful in the games that we played. Fevered Vision was kind of middling. Royal Scions was fine. I don't have it in my deck editor here to pull up Red Black, Madness, Pioneer, Jeff Hoagland. Oh, I don't have the deck list offhand, and Google's not helping me, but there was a straight red-black deck that we played that was playing these Madness cards and Stormfist and Rotting Regisaur, and it played Key to the City as well and was just more aggressively slanted. And I think that's probably the better direction to go. The blue cards didn't feel super valuable or useful, and like just being lower to the ground and more aggressive, I think, is the direction you want to take a deck like this. While Scions was the best of what the blue cards were doing, I think Key to the City does something very similar. I don't know, maybe it depends, Big Monster. Like, you're not actually discarding that many cards per turn, so like, Flameblade Adept is frequently just going to be a 2-2 with Menace, which also isn't a very good stat line. Alright, at any rate, that's going to be it for the Pioneer segment today. We'll be back tomorrow morning with another Pioneer deck. As always, we kick the day off with those. We're going to roll on into some Magic Arena with some Historic up next. Be back in just a few minutes, folks. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere.